everyone, welcome back to Serving Up Plumbing with me, your master plumber, David Butler. Today we're going to be talking about pipe bursting. Yes, trenchless technology, pipe bursting, using fusion welded HDPE. But first, please give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let me know your comments. Now, let's go out in the field and do some pipe bursting. Today we're doing a pipe burst on a residential sewer service that's cast iron. We've already got our cable put in there. We've got the hole dug at the street. We've got a clay tile sewer tap that you can see here from the city that we're going to tie into. Now, let's go up to the house. At the house, we're already working on the pipe puller. We've got our blocking in place, and we're trying to get the hydraulic arm set just right so when we start pulling it, it'll pull straight and everything will be nice and smooth. Now, we've already got our hydraulic hoses hooked up here also. We've got our hydraulic pump sitting on the sidewalk. We're getting ready to start it up so that we can start the pull. Our pipe is ready out at the street and we're ready to go. So, you can see right here, we've got the pulley rolling. The hydraulic arm is going up and down. You can actually see the hoses even flexing a little bit from the pressure. Let's go back out to the street. You can see now we're starting to take up the slack on the cable. We've got our HDPE already connected onto our burster. We've got our preliminary smaller head in front of the clevis, and then we have our primary burster head. That way it helps burst that cast iron open a little easier when you've got the two splitter heads there. Now we're going to slowly start going in the ground. You can see it moves about 8 inches at a time. It pulls that first ripper head in, and slowly right behind it feeds the other, and that HDPE is going to flatten out just right so it's following the exact path of the old cast iron. Now we're going to speed this up a little bit, get it going, and you're going to see a little bit better about how fast it goes. Now it's not going to go that fast because again we're going in fast forward. Let's go back up to the house. Now you can see we're pulling it through. Slow but sure. We get a little closer. He's got the cable going up and down. Now one thing, you've got to be real careful in here. There are a lot of safety things here. There's a lot of pinch points and there's a tremendous amount of force going on here. Down at the bottom of there you can see the cable is actually pulling out of the ground straight into this. Now right now we've only got 2 blocks in here. Oftentimes you may want to put some more blocks in place. That'll get you a little further back. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. We've got that pipe coming really good right now. And this goes on for about 30 minutes at the most. Sometimes you can pull one in about 15. This yard service happens to be about 35 to 40 feet. And again, once you start pulling on this, it takes about 15 to 30 minutes. If you got a good smooth pull, it'll go quicker. You can see the cable right down in the bottom of the trench there, moving slow and easy. That 8 inches at a time that you're moving it. You do want to be very careful as you're doing this not to bottom out your hydraulic arms. Every time you bottom that out, it puts excessive stress on your seals and all on your hydraulic arms. So once you get to using this a lot, you realize the maximum and minimum that you pull on it. It'll make your equipment last a lot longer. Right here you start to see the cast iron is starting to come out of the ground. Now when you get real close to the end of the pipe, and sometimes even 5 to 10 feet in, the cast iron will start pulling out of the ground because the dirt won't hold it tight enough. When that happens, you're going to have to break that cast iron off. It's going to butt up against your plate that's right there, and if it does, it's going to jam things up. You can't keep pulling. So a large pry bar or something of that nature, you break the cast iron up as you can see down in the hole. And each time you get up to your plate, you break it up. Now you've got him breaking that out and gets the cast iron out of the way. Again, we could have put more blocks in here and gotten it further back. And that would have prevented us having to do as much breaking up of the cast iron. One other thing they do make too to help prevent this, instead of having to do blocks, they make a cage that will extend it anywhere from 16 inches, 18 to 24 inches. There's our burster head. That's our first pre-burster that came through. But we can't pull much further than that because we don't have enough blocking there or a cage in the place. So remember, if you're going to do that, give yourself ample room between the faceplate and the wall of the ditch. That'll give you a little bit less work that you have to do later, as you're going to see we're about to have to do. All right, now we're relieving the pressure on this so we can remove the cable. We have to get the jaws taken off. The pressure has to be released on your hydraulics. Get the pressure off the cable, and he can get the jaws to come out so that the cable's no longer gripped in there, because there's, again, tremendous amount of force on this. All right, we've got the cable out now. We're pulling the cable back to the side. He's going to start disassembling the puller. Now, these are all heavy pieces. Most of these pieces weigh 70 to 80 pounds a piece, so it's not for the lighthearted to be working on this. But it does disassemble into 3 pieces. He's gotten his hydraulic hoses released. Now remember, you need to relieve the pressure with your pump before you do that. Turn the pump off, make sure the pressure is taken off. So he pulled the hydraulic puller off. Now we've got the big pulley wheel and the faceplate. These are all super heavy duty aluminum, but they're still heavy. So there's the pulley. Again, these all disassemble so that you can do this working by hand. A lot of people use excavators on this. Excavators are great if you're using one on the yard. If you don't have an excavator in place though, you're going to have to lift it manually. You don't have the excavator to lift everything in and out of the trench. So we get the blocks out, we're getting everything pulled away, and there you go. You got a really good look at the pre-burster. The only downside here is our pre-burster is the only thing sticking out. That means we still have some cast iron back in there that has not been broken. And here we have the cockroach dance to kill all those cockroaches that crawled out of your sewer pipe. So we're disconnecting the rest of it, the hoses. Now, we're trying to chip away some of this cast iron because, again, we've only got the pre-burster head out. So we're digging back, and he can dig pretty quick here. Of course, we're in fast forward, but we're digging back, and we're trying to get to the primary burster head. So this is going to take a few minutes. Again, if we would have had the cage or some more blocks in here, we could have hydraulically pulled it out. Now we're trying to drive that pipe through with the sledgehammer. Once you get through that last piece of cast iron, the HDP will slide through that hole fairly easy when there's no cast iron left in there. But that primary head is still stuck in a big chunk of cast iron pipe that's probably 1 foot long to 2 foot long. So we're digging back, we're trying to get to that. We're going to chip all of that off. As we're doing that, we're hammering on it out there, and we're starting to get the entire thing on through. So he's chipping that off, breaking away the cast iron with the chipping hammer that we've gotten out now, and digging the dirt back with the spade. And we're going to get all of that out of the way. Now, Alex is doing a great job out there with Caesar hammering that pipe through. It's usually not this difficult, but some of them can be more difficult than others. There's the primary head. You see we've gotten it completely out of the cast iron now, and they're just hammering the pipe right on through. Comes through about 1 inch or 2 at a time. Sometimes if the dirt's really wet, it'll go easier. If it's really dry, it may be harder. Now let's get the burster heads off. There's a pin we pull off. That's the first pre-burster. That's the clevis. We remove that pin. Caesar's got that just about loose. Now, we get that one off. All right, we've got the pre-burster off. Once you get that off, the primary head will slide right off. Make sure you take care of your tools, put them away in the boxes to protect the blades. Then we can screw out the puller. Now this puller here actually expands and goes inside the pipe. It's a great one to use. It's what I recommend. Make sure to put that away too. Take care of your tools. That way they'll last a long time for you. This is our hydraulic pump. We didn't look real close at it a minute ago, but we've got this as a portable. Those of you that use excavators, you can hook right onto your power takeoffs on your excavators. We're back at our hole at the street. Our pipe's pulled all the way through. We've got some extra pipe left over. You always want to leave it long so that we can have a way to tie it in. There's the milestone truck, and there I am. We're done with the job. I'm excited. Did everything go perfect on this job? Absolutely not. And that's the way plumbing jobs go. I want to show both the good and the bad, the difficult and the easy when we do these videos. And that's what we see in this video here. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. And let me know your thoughts and comments on pipe bursting. Trenchless technology is the way of the future. And always remember, just tell your friends the Butler did it.